Hi guys, I hope you're okay and having a good day. I kind of messed up big time. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with the UK welfare system, for people with disabilities, the main two benefits are something called employment support allowance, which is kind of like the main income, officially the main income. And that comes in two levels. There's a work-related activity group, which is, in official terms, it's people who can prepare for work but aren't well enough to actually work, but in reality, they're not often even well enough to prepare to work. And then there's the support group, which is basically people who are too ill to even prepare to work. Thankfully, given what happened, I'm in the support group, which means I get more money. Now, the other benefit is PIP, or personal independence payments. Now, although that's not officially a main income for people with disabilities, it does make up a huge chunk of your income. So, in my case, before my mess up, my personal independence payment was almost half of what I get for my employment support allowance. So when they stopped the PIP, personal independence payments, PIP, when they stopped that, I lost a huge chunk of my income. I messed up, and I want you to be able to learn to avoid making the same mistakes as me, to hopefully avoid the same thing happening to you. I, not having a huge amount of experience with PIP and not being well at the time, I didn't give everything to the PIP that I would with ESA or employment support allowance. As in, I wasn't as thorough, I wasn't as determined, I was not well on the day, so I wasn't able to think straight and say to her, when she tried to stop the assessment, in saying that it had ended, there was so much information that she still didn't have, and she couldn't make a reasonable decision. Now, that's not to say she was going to, because she clearly didn't want to, but I could have given more, I could have done more, and I made a rookie mistake that I should not have made, and I admitted I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't record the medical assessment, as they call it. I didn't record it, so I have no evidence of the fact that she was so inaccurate. When the report came back, she had mentioned something that was completely unrelated to me. She said something about pain in my shoulder. I never told her I had pain in my shoulder, because I don't. So it sounded like she was talking about somebody else. She had completely misrepresented the they do kind of like a physical, and she completely misrepresented that. She said I'd been able to do things that I said I wasn't prepared to do because it would cause me pain. She said I'd done them when I hadn't even tried because they were painful. And it was just between the two of us, we completely messed it up. She didn't want to care. She didn't want to give me the PIP. And I made rookie mistakes. And I don't want you to do the same thing, because I want you to have the best chance possible. Always give them everything. They say to you, don't give them appointment letters for hospitals. Ignore that, just send them anyway. That's basically, they are like, if you listen to them, they are missing a huge amount of evidence. Always give them appointment letters, hospital appointment letters, or copies of them. Don't ever give them an original document unless you take it to a neighbourhood office and they photocopy it and send it. Never give them an original document. Never admit you don't know what you're doing. I don't know what I was thinking saying that. That was a stupid thing to do. Record the medical, because then the whole atmosphere changes. If you record the medical, it's just like they behave themselves. Their whole attitude is different. And get as much evidence as you can, which I did. They had like loads of medical evidence, which they chose to ignore. They stated in the mandatory reconsideration, which is kind of like, for those of you who are in America, that's kind of like the first stage of appealing a decision, is a mandatory reconsideration. In the mandatory reconsideration, they basically tried to say that they had the best information possible. Well, that contradicts NHS information. In the UK, NHS is National Health Service. Their information directly contradicted NHS information. So, or their so-called best information, which doesn't exist. And yeah. Another problem, which wasn't my fault, it wasn't anybody's fault, was that as far as my POTS and other heart condition go, I didn't have a diagnosis at that time because all the test results were coming back. And so she took this as a joke. She thought it was hilarious. She didn't take it seriously because I didn't have a diagnosis, despite the fact that it was, despite the fact that I took in a letter saying that I was starting medication, because although I didn't have a diagnosis, there was a medication I could start that would start the recovery process. It's complicated. My heart rate was crazy fast. They needed to slow it down, basically. So whatever the cause was, they needed to slow my heart rate down. That was the priority. So at that point, we didn't have a diagnosis. Now, despite the fact that I had appointment letters for tests, a letter from my doctor, she just treated the whole heart condition thing as a joke. She didn't take it seriously. It wasn't even mentioned in the report. In fact, more than half my medical conditions weren't even listed on the report. Half my medications weren't listed on the report, even though I'd given her a official prescription list. Like over here in the UK, when you order medication, you get like a snip back, which kind of lists all your medications, so that you know like which ones you can like order repeat prescriptions of, like order them again, basically. And it gives you a record that you can give to other people of proof of your medication. Well, she hadn't even mentioned half my medications in the report. Half of them were missing. They tried to say that because I didn't have a mental illness, I'm on medication for anxiety and depression. According to them, because I didn't have a mental illness, there was no reason I can't concentrate when I'm reading. I had put in a letter or like a document about my dyslexia. when I didn't look through it completely because I was just like overwhelmed. A few days ago I got my documents for the tribunal, which is where you go to court to get the money back basically, or the PIP reinstated. When I got the documents, I was flicking through. I mean, there's no way you can read through all of them, it's just out of the question. But when I was flicking through, they had a definition of dyslexia that they basically contradicted. They were saying that I didn't have a reason why I couldn't concentrate when I was reading. And their own document said that with dyslexia you have difficulty concentrating when reading. So they've contradicted themselves. But yeah, the main point of this video is I screwed up. I dropped a ball, I messed up, I did silly things, and I don't want you to make the same mistakes. So do everything you can, every single possible document that could help you, including ones they say don't send, just send them anyway. It's up to you what they send. If they don't like it, tough. They have to deal with it. So yeah, thanks for watching, and please don't ever make the same mistakes I did. Bye.